My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me.
On that day, Yah the Elohim will rescue his people, just as a shepherd rescues his sheep. They will sparkle in his land like jewels in a crown.
Shalom, family, and welcome to this new day. Every day is a good day for those who walk with the Chief Shepherd, even though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death. This world is given into the hands of the wicked, so we must continually seek instructions from the Chief Shepherd. Yah said he will rescue his people like a shepherd rescues his sheep. But some have acted as if Yah has changed his mind.
For as the rain comes down, and the snow from heaven, and returns not there, but waters the earth, and makes it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goes forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing for which I sent it.
For decades, our people have been fighting and protesting for one reason or another.
But we hope to achieve equal rights,
such as civil rights, racism,
no peace! No justice! No peace!
justice and peace.
Forever! Enough is enough!
No justice! No peace!
Police brutality, and the list goes on and on. In 1969, Frederick Douglass Kirkpatrick wrote and sung,
Everybody's got a right to live.
20 years later, in the summer of 1989, the rap group Public Enemy reminded us,
We got to fight the powers that be,
in hopes to strengthen our people. But the violence and the hatred against our people just continue to increase. It's not in the scripture that we should run to our enemies and beg for help, Yisrael. Neither is it in the scripture that we should pull together on our own to fight the powers and principalities.
And today you still have house Negroes and field Negroes.
Malcolm X tried and failed.
May I say something to you to give you a true knowledge of yourself and life?
Marcus Garvey tried and he failed. The list also goes on and on. When our Israelite forefathers depended on Yah, no one could defeat them. When they depended on themselves or other kings, they were easily defeated. The battles of today are not our own, Israel. And it has been clearly proven that the enemies have the upper hand. Yah is waiting for his people that are called by his name to turn back to him so that he will heal the land. We are left with the battle in 2 Chronicles chapter 20 to show how Yah will help his chosen people when they are obedient and seek him for help.
And after this, it came to be that the children of Moab and the children of Ammon came in, and with them some of the peoples against Yahoshaphat to battle. And they came and spoke to Yahoshaphat, saying,
A great army is coming up against you from beyond the sea, from Aram. And see, they are in Hasatzon Tamar, which is En-Gedi.
And Yahoshaphat was afraid, and set his face to seek Yahweh, and proclaimed a fast throughout all Yehudah. And Yehudah gathered to inquire of Yahweh, even from all the cities of Yehudah, they came to seek Yahweh. And Yahoshaphat stood in the assembly of Yehudah and Yerushalayim in the house of Yahweh in front of the new courtyard and said,
O Yahuwah Elohim of our fathers, are you not Elohim in the heavens? And do you not rule over all the reigns of the nations? And in your hand is there not power and might, so that no one is able to stand against you? Are you not our Elohim? You have driven out the inhabitants of this land before your people Yisrael, and gave it to the seed of Abraham your friend forever. And they shall dwell in it, and have built you a set-apart place in it for your name, saying, if evil does come upon us, such as the sword, judgment or pestilence, or scarcity of food, we shall stand before this house and in your presence, for your name is in this house, and cry out to you in our distress, and you do hear and save. And now, see, the children of Ammon and Moab and Mount Seir, whom you would not let Yisrael invade when they came out of the land of Mizraim, for they turned from them and did not destroy them. And see, they are repaying us by coming to drive us out of your possession, which you have given us to dwell and inherit. O our Elohim, would you not judge them? For we are powerless against this great army that is coming against us, and we do not know what to do, but our eyes are upon you.
And all Yehudah, with their little ones, their wives, and their children, stood before Yahweh. And the Ruach of Yahweh came upon Yahaziel, son of Zerkayahu, son of Benaiah, son of Yael, son of Mattaniah, a Levite of the sons of Asaph, in the midst of the assembly. And he said,
listen, all Yehudah, and you inhabitants of Jerusalem, and sovereign Yahoshaphat. Thus says Yah to you, do not fear, nor be afraid of the face of this great army. For the battle is not yours, but Elohim's. Go down against them tomorrow. See, they are coming up by the Ancient of Zips, and you shall find them at the end of the wadi before the wilderness of Yeruel. It is not for you to fight in this. Position yourself, stand still, and see the deliverance of Yah with you. O Yehudah and Jerusalem, do not be afraid nor fear. Go out against them tomorrow, for Yah is with you.
And Yahoshaphat bowed his head with his face to the ground, and all Yehudah and the inhabitants of Yerushalayim fell down before Yahweh to bow themselves before Yahweh. And the Levites of the children of the Kehathites and the children of the Korahites stood up to praise Yahweh, Elohah of Yasharah, with exceedingly loud voice. And they rose early in the morning and went out into the wilderness of Tekoa. And as they went out, Yahoshaphat stood and said,
hear me, O Yahudah and inhabitants of Yasharim. Trust in Yahuwah, your Elohim, and be steadfast. Trust his prophets and prosper.
And after consulting with the people, he appointed those who should sing to Yahweh, and who should praise the splendor of set-apartness, as they went out before the army, and were saying, give thanks to Yahweh, for his kindness is everlasting. And when they began singing and praising, Yahweh set ambushes against the children of Ammon, Moab, and Mount Seir, who had come against Yehudah, and they were smitten. Then the children of Ammon and Moab stood up against the inhabitants of Mount Seir to destroy and annihilate them. And when they had made an end of the inhabitants of Seir, they helped to destroy one another. And when Yehudah came at the lookout in the wilderness, they looked toward the army and saw their dead bodies lying on the ground, and none had escaped.
Notice Yahoshaphat saying,
O our Elohim, would you not judge them? For we are powerless against this great army that is coming against us, and we do not know what to do, but our eyes are upon you.
Black Wall Street shows us that we do have strength and that we are a strong nation when we pull together on one accord. But without Yah leading us, the enemy can come in easily and tear it all down. What do we have, Israel? We don't have a government system. We don't have a military system. We don't have our land. We don't even have our own name. Our people have been stripped of nearly everything. This is why I quote 2 Chronicles chapter 7 and verse 14 in so many of our lessons and straight talks, which shows us that what we do have is the Most High Yah. Too many times we have turned from Yah and tried to do things our own way. Deuteronomy chapter 28 gives us a list of blessings if we follow the ways of Yah, and a list of curses if we choose not to. Well, our forefathers chose not to follow Yah's ways, so we are here in the curses. In verse 48, Yahweh tells us,
You shall serve your enemies, whom Yah sends against you, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in need of all. And he shall put a yoke of iron on your neck, until he has destroyed you.
Think about this for a moment. Let's break this down.
You shall serve your enemies, whom Yah sends against you, in hunger.
Where do we get our food from?
And in thirst.
Where do we get our water from?
And in nakedness.
Where do we get our clothes from?
And in need of all. And he shall put a yoke of iron on your neck, until he has destroyed you.
This is something really deep for us to think about, because this yoke has been on our necks for hundreds of years, Israel. Let's take some time today and look at Tehillim, Psalms chapter 35. Notice how our forefather David prayed. Understand that the enemy he spoke of was not of the nation of Israel. Religion taught the chosen sheep to pray for the enemy, which causes the enemy to come back and do more damage than before. David did not pray against the enemy, that of his own household, which is Israel, but prayed against the enemies of the other nations. Too many times, religion teaches the sheep to pray for their leaders and not explaining who their leaders are. Matthew chapter 12 and verse 50 reminds us,
For whoever does the desire of my Father who is in the heavens is my brother and sister and mother.
This should also determine the leaders of the chosen sheep. We must ask ourselves if the enemies we are about to pray for is of Israel or of another nation. Are they doing the will of ABBA YAH or of their father Satan? What would David have prayed for in the situation our people are in today? Imagine if you see a flock of sheep that was praying in favor of the wolves while the wolves were steadily eating them. Think about this for a moment. Now, to all those who made it here, this straight talk is to inform the sheep to pray against the enemies outside of Israel, just as our forefathers did. Also, to pray for our leaders within our own household of Israel, and not to engage in the upcoming battles that the enemy will come forth with. These battles are not ours, but belong to ABBA YAH, the Chief Shepherd. With Yah sitting by our side, let's study further the battles our forefathers went through. Let's see how our forefathers prayed and take notice of who helped them to overcome their enemies. Read again 2 Chronicles chapter 20 with Yah to get a complete understanding of what we are to do in today's time. We left some helpful links down below in the description box. Be sure to leave a helpful comment. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. Yisrael, being the chosen sheep, our strength comes only from walking in the ways of the Most High Yah. So the next time someone tells us to vote for a bill, go out to protest on the streets, or to pray for the enemies of the other nations that are doing wickedness to the chosen, let's tell them that Yah says,
And if my people, upon whom my name is called, shall humble themselves, and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their evil ways, then I shall hear from the heavens, and forgive their sins, and heal their land.
Shalom, and stay strong.